Happy Monday, everybody. All right, well, some of you are locked up in quarantine and still, of course, working from home or trying to get a side hustle going or whatever you're trying to do to try to, live in this new reality that we're in, and you're failing, okay? You're failing at your goals and your productivity. Some of you guys have tried to do things before, you failed at it. I have done the same thing, so I understand, I know this. Some of you guys that listen to me are ultra, very successful entrepreneurs. I have a lot of very successful people that tune into my channel that are more successful, at least on a balance sheet, than I am. All right, so that's good, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some things that are going to help you. I don't care if your balance sheet's bigger than mine or if, you're just starting off. All right, this is going to help you. It's stuff from, it's the way that elite military units kind of frame how they complete missions and how they complete actions. And I want you to take this material and apply it to your own life. But first, slide your finger over, hit the subscribe button, okay? Like it, share it. So this is gonna be a longer video, probably longer than 10 minutes, all right? So, but guess what? You have the time, all right? You have the time to invest in improving yourself. I'm giving away like the secrets here, all right? I mean, really there are no secrets. What there is a lot of information, and 70% of that information is bullshit. So I'm going to give you the brass tacks stuff that's going to really help you out. All right. And this is for maximizing your productivity and your ability to achieve the things that you're trying to achieve. Okay. Chasing excellence, achieving goals. Now, what am I? Okay. I'm not going to tell you how to be a $1 billion, $1 million a month entrepreneur. I'm the wrong guy. Okay, I have a military background, and I'm a mindset expert and a relationship expert. I coach and consult in these things. All right, that's what I am. I get coaching for how to be a better entrepreneur. So I'm not this ultra guru who's going to tell you how to do everything. But there's certain things I'm very, very equipped to help you in. One of those things is mindset and formulating strategies for success, and starting with what's going on up here. Now, a lot of people know me as a relationship expert. That's primarily what I coach on. And some of you guys are saying, well, what does this have to do with relationships? How is this going to help me be a better man? How is this going to make me be alpha? A lot of you guys come to me because you want to be more alpha, right? Well, if you're not maximizing your ability to achieve what you want to achieve, that's not really alpha. All right. Now, there's a lot of alpha guys with alpha traits that don't do this kind of stuff. I get that. But this, if you're going to be on your mental point of origin, alphas, we'll say high productive, not alphas that are in jail, you know what I mean, for not listening to authority and trying to take shortcuts. But we're talking about alphas that achieve stuff, high achieving alphas, successful alphas, right? Successful alpha males, they get shit done, they achieve things, they figure that stuff out. So this is a shortcut to be able to do that. A lot of you guys want the roadmap and the shortcuts, all right? Well, I'm giving it to you right now. That's what this is. That being said, though, you still have to do the work, okay? Like, there is no magic hocus pocus formula. You're going to have to take this shortcut I'm giving you to do the work, all right? So what I've done is I've taken my study of mindset and study of, brain functioning over 2 decades, a couple of decades now, probably close to 3 decades of training and study and development in this stuff. And I've looked at how the military does things, particularly elite units, and that I've been a part of, that I've worked with too, okay? And people I've talked to who've been a part of other things that I haven't been a part of, and I've observed what they've done. There's a lot of common themes here. Now, what the military is doing is they have a whole process. They have for planning, they got their, military decision-making process, or, MDMP, there's troop leading procedures, and there's a whole formula that you can take courses on. NCOs and officers in the Army go to multiple courses that take multiple days to complete to learn this stuff. So we're not going to go over specifically those things, so that's not going to help you. But I am giving you a summation of how we accomplish shit in the military. And the thing about this is, the beauty of this is that we can accomplish missions even with some of the dumbest people involved, okay? That means some of the dumbest people who are in the planning, all right? And maybe some of the dumbest dudes on the ground, or, guys are relatively, the more capable you are, the better, but we have guys who are, it happens. You got a fire team, and you got that one guy, you know what I mean? It just, no matter how elite you are, there's always a problem child. And yet we get it done. And so, the reason that is because this process is designed to work for everybody. So when you're dealing with a military organization, even on the elite side of things, it's designed to work for everybody involved, the best and the worst. So that means you, as an entrepreneur, as a man, even as a woman, to whoever you are listening, trying to accomplish goals, you can apply these principles, and you can get shit done. All right? This is about getting shit done and maximizing that ability, okay? So I'm going to tell you all the secrets, all right? I'm using a lot of high technology here. You ready? This is my technology, okay? Where I hold up a notebook to my camera. Now, eventually, my technology and my editing is going to improve, but this is what you get. All right, so here's the kind of the triangle, all right? So you see execution there is at the top. On the bottom is mindset, your plan or planning, environment, and your tracking. Okay, so I'm going to go over each one of these. That's your formula though, all right? And so I'll show this a couple times in the video so you can write it down, draw it, stick it on your wall, all right? So, mindset. Now, now this is not a judgment on morality or on what kind of a person you are. There's a lot of really shitty people out there that can be successful, all right? I hope you're not that person, but that's not what makes or breaks success, unfortunately. Okay, what makes or breaks it is having a winning mindset or a success mindset. Okay, it's a mindset to get it to that you're going to win and you're going to get things done, overcome adversity. You're going to be geared towards what's going to help you win versus focusing on all the negative stuff that's going to make you lose, all right? That's like the basics right there. Do you have a winning mindset or not? And I'm not going to, we have plenty of videos on mindset here and things that'll be off in the future with it. So I'm not going to get wrapped up in the axle of that part because that's actually not the part where people screw it up. We got success porn out there, you got my favorite, is Tony Robbins. He's great. Whether you like him or hate him, he's got a lot of good stuff. I don't care. All right, he does. But you got, success porn's popular, right? You got entrepreneurs, guys who made a bunch of money. A lot of them are not covering in their, roadmap to success course you can take what they actually did to be successful, all right? They're not covering that stuff. What they're giving you is a bunch of success porn, feel good, mindset stuff, kill it, the grind, you know what I mean? It's all that stuff, right? It's all, get pumped, let's do the grind, let's kill it, accomplish our, I don't know, right? It's all that stuff, all right? It's all the hoopla. And thousands of people latch onto that, and that's okay. It's okay, but unfortunately, very small fraction of those people are actually accomplishing what they intend to accomplish. Why is that? Because there's more, all right? And it's not just getting pumped up, all right? It's just having the mindset of being able to push out the negativity and the things that are going to take you off your purpose. Mentally push out the things that are going to take you off and take you outside of what you need to do to accomplish your goals, all right? And having that winning mindset, finding out, looking for and seeing the opportunities for success and kind of pushing away or setting aside all of the things that are going to, potentially you could focus on that will cause you failures. All the negative stuff, all the fears, all that stuff, And that doesn't mean that you don't assess things logically, and I mean, some people think that means that they should continue to chase after a goal even if that goal is completely failing, but by not giving up, they're going to make it somehow. And that doesn't always work. In fact, that often fails, right? You got to be able to look at things neutrally so you can see the obstacles that are coming down the road to overcome them. So this is not just a pump up video on how to be successful that's not what my channel ever is, okay? So if you want to get pumped up, go someplace else. I'm going to give you the tools though that are going to make you have the right mind to do and accomplish whatever it is you need. And I'm going to give you the tools to have good relationships. That's what I'm going to do. And if you like that, if you want the tools for success, stay tuned. If you want to just get pumped up and then go fail, I guess go watch that video, all right? But it's all about, the mindset thing is about having a winning mindset. Now, military units, elite units, whether it's like Navy SEALs, Special Forces, Delta Force, pick it. Pick any elite unit, all right? They have a tryout process. They have a selection and training process. And during that process, the biggest thing they're weeding out is guys that don't have the right mindset. So in those elite units, they're wanting the guys that are trainable and that are going to have the mindset for success. That is the main thing they're looking for. All the hard shit they do in every elite unit that has their, selection process to select a soldier to be in it is looking at, does this guy is he trainable? Does he have the capabilities? And also, does he have the mindset to win? Does he have the mindset to be successful? And a lot of the things they do are to fuck with your mind in these tryout scenarios, these selection scenarios, okay? They're there to mess with your head and mess with the candidate's head so that they see whether he's going to overcome that stuff and not focus on that stuff and focus on winning, or if he's going to get wrapped up into the other stuff and then end up sabotaging or losing, all right? So that's the basis of mindset here. We're not going to get all pumped up. I mean, I hope you do get pumped up, all right? That's I hope you do. That'd be great, but that's not what I mean, okay? That's not what it is you need. What you need is a mindset towards success and a winning mindset. That's the foundation, all right? So foundationally, that is that, and then you have to make a plan, all right? So now you have to make a plan. You're going to start a business. What's your basic plan? Now, there's a saying that says, essentially, it kind of goes like this, and basically an okay plan executed well will always win or beat, okay, a perfect plan executed poorly, all right? So the execution is what matters the most. The plan changes, all right? The plan is you start with a plan and then you start tweaking it as you go along. But you do need a plan to start with, all right? Baseline, okay, to start with. And so we have something called improving your fighting position. So in this whole process, you never want to get analysis paralysis, all right? Where you're planning for 3 months how to start a business and you're not doing anything, all right? That's crazy. Ooh. What's crazy is I need water. Okay. That's not productive. That's not accomplishing anything. Okay, that's mental masturbation. That's fooling yourself into thinking that you're accomplishing stuff when you're not. Okay, don't do that. Okay, don't get stuck. All right, set a timeline, set a time limit on your planning, and do that. We do that. We have something called a 1/3, 2/3 rule during the during our troop leading procedures and planning process, which means that we only let the officers plan. If we got 2 days before a mission, they can only plan their mission for 1/3 of that time. If we got 1 day before a mission, they can only plan that mission for 1/3 of the time. That's how it works. We don't give them more time because some people will just plan and plan and plan and plan, and then they won't do the rest that they need to be successful. You see, there's all these other steps that you can't actually achieve the goal without doing these other steps, and dudes will get caught here for forever, all right? So don't do that, okay? Don't get caught here forever either. That's that success porn stuff where you're just pumping yourself up, but you're not actually doing anything, okay? So that gets us to the next thing. Now, I asterisked these next two things, environment and tracking. These are the things that people will screw up, okay? In their pursuit of trying to achieve what they need to achieve, this is where they screw it up. And in military execution of missions, this is usually where it screws up too. Sometimes it's the plan that's kind of screwed up, but it's usually not. It's usually a lack of preparation during the rest of that 2/3 of the time. Okay, so for your civilian purposes, this is the rest of the preparation. Environment and tracking should be the rest of that preparation for your execution. Okay, so, or environment and track, yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so yeah, that's so important, because here's what dudes will do. They procrastinate, they have an idea in their head, they get pumped up, they watch some YouTube video or it pumps them up. Probably has a lot more likes and subscribers than I do, because, you know, it's all a bunch of bullshit and they're not telling you the truth. The truth doesn't get you as many likes and subscribers, although I would appreciate if you would help me anyway. And then they get all pumped up, and then they jump into like, here's what I'm gonna do, and they have like 50 meetings on how to plan. And then they just start actioning stuff. Oh, it's the grind. I gotta action things. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And then they just fuck it up. You know, they just fuck it up. And I've done this. Y'all have probably done this. If you're in any kind of business, or you're trying to accomplish anything, this is probably what you've done before. Okay? It's because you're not setting yourself up for success. You're not doing the right kind of preparation. You're jerking yourself off, and then you're jumping into execution, and you're not really doing the things you need to do to prepare. Okay? And those two things that you need to do to prepare is your environment and your tracking. Now, I don't care, actually. I would rather have you take a week off to get your environment and your tracking in order, all right? And then start executing, but you execute at the fullest of your productivity with no distractions, hour to an hour and a half chunks, with whatever time. If it's full-time endeavor, you're doing that, 9 to 12 hours a day. If it's part-time, it's whatever time you can, but you are fully focused on your goal for that time period, okay? Your execution is 100%, or as close as you can make it to 100%, because this stuff is in order, all right? That would be better off than trying to do this without doing this and setting this up, and constantly always cleaning your office, going through the clutter of your papers. Oh, I gotta clean my car. Oh, where are my keys? I can't find my keys. I lost my keys. Where's the file? I need the file. Oh, did I put it? Hey, my assistant, do you have my file? Oh, I don't know where my stuff is. This desk has all this stuff on it. I gotta clean this out. Hey, yeah, how was your weekend? Mine was great, blah, 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 blah. Oh, how many hours did I put towards sales calls today? Oh, man, I don't know, because I'm not tracking my stuff. I have no idea what I did. But I think I was pretty productive. Let's see how tomorrow goes. This is why you fail. Okay? And that doesn't work in a military environment, because you have to do all the preparation, and then you execute, and you're stuck with whatever you are executing to the fullest with what you got, all right? But that preparation is the difference between life or death, success or failure, okay? And so that is really important, all right? And so you wouldn't just kind of have a half-assed plan, no rehearsal, and then run outside the wire trying to accomplish your mission. I don't have, you left your night vision back in the rear? Shit. Well, we didn't do a layout. Fuck, who's got batteries? Oh, man. Well, we're going to have to hunker down here, I guess. Oh, my radio doesn't work. We forgot to do a comms check. Like, this is not what you would do running outside the wire to accomplish a mission. So you know what I mean? So treat this, because that's pretty serious, right? Going outside into a hostile area to complete a mission is a serious thing. Treat your goals like they're that serious, because this is your life. This is your life or death, okay? So treat it like it's serious, all right? So what that means is this, and I'm going to say for environment, declutter. Being minimalist helps. The more shit you got lying around, the more shit you hoard, okay, the more it's going to distract your mind and make you less productive. All right, I'm going to repeat that. Declutter. The more shit you have and the more shit you hoard, the more your mind will be distracted and the less productive you will be. You will spend more time looking for shit. You will spend more time trying to put your thoughts together. You'll have all of these distractions pulling you away from your productivity, pulling you away from this part because this part's not set up. And when I say environment, I mean, that means closing yourself off from other distractions, shutting off the notifications of your phone. You know what I mean? Shutting off so that when you decide, let's say your goal is a sales goal this month, you decide to hammer the phones and kick out some sales letters, you're not being distracted by Facebook notifications or what's going on in Instagram. What's the latest video on the COVID-19 thing? You know what I'm saying? That shit's not important. What's important is your goals. And that stuff will be there later on. So remove those distractions. There is no emergency, okay, that where you have to have your text notification on. None whatsoever, okay? Have an emergency number for, you know, if your kid's being watched by your, I don't know, grandma or something, you know, have an emergency number for grandma or whatever to get through your layers, and then everybody else can go screw off for an hour, okay, until you take your break. You get what I'm saying? That's part of your environment. Clean your freaking car, clean your house. Now, some of you guys, it's going to take you more than a couple hours or a day to clean your stuff. Some of you guys have been hoarding things for years. You're listening to my channel. If you're like my neighbor over here, I wonder if he ever becomes a subscriber or watches this, might get pissed off. He's got shit everywhere, you know? He's a really cool dude, but he's got shit all over the place. His mind and what he's got going, must be distracted and so disorganized, I can't even. And I've been there too, by the way. I've been there, and I'll never, ever, ever go back there again. That's why I live very minimalist now. I have a minimalist lifestyle for a reason. It's much better, much more peaceful. And, you know, it helps keep that alpha, outcome independent, productive state when you don't have shit everywhere. So get rid of it. Now, if you are going to take 3 weeks to get your shit together because you've been hoarding for years, do it, number one. But number two, I understand you probably can't just take the time off, right, of work for 3 weeks to declutter yourself. Although you should. You should take at least a few vacation days and get a head start. But what you're going to do then instead is you're going to declutter a space for you to work then, okay? An office or a corner of your house or your kitchen table, whatever it is, you're going to do your work without distractions. You're going to declutter that space and you're going to optimize that space for productivity and then work on the rest as you go along. Call that improving your fighting position, okay? So that's what you're going to do, all right, if you're really fucked up, because I get that, all right? I understand. But that doesn't mean, you know, this is really important. This is important. And if you suck at this, if you're a disorganized pile of shit, then you need me to coach you. All right? Seriously. You need me to coach you because that's a mindset thing. That is a mindset and a mental, that's how you're processing things mentally, how you're prioritizing things mentally throughout the day, and how you're prioritizing your tasks. That's all mindset. All right? That's all what's going on up here is showing up in your environment. And that's why you're disorganized, and that's why you're a pile of fuck, all right? So I can fix that, not in this video. Too long, way too much. Maybe another video, all right? That's a coaching thing. Call me for that, all right? We will do some mental work. We will do some actual hypnosis as well as some techniques for you to do throughout the week so you can unfuck yourself and be that alpha James Bond type. I mean, hell, you got a chick coming over, or ladies, you got a dude coming over, all right? And there's a pile of dishes in the sink and shit everywhere, you know. Would James Bond open the door to his, I don't know, his lavish wherever he lives, or his hotel room, or his wherever he's living at, and have shit and the dishes hanging, you know, falling out of the sink, paper all over the office? I mean, is that how, that alpha male person would do it? Is that how a woman that's worth long-term relationship, would she have shit falling out of her car, cigarette butt smashed in her center console? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's not how you want to live, and that's not a high-level person. That's actually a red flag, okay, with your guy or a girl. So we're tying it back into relationship stuff. But not having your environment set up, dude, not having nice shit and being able to keep nice shit and being able to be clean and decluttered, that's not alpha, okay? That's not long-term relationship material. Some of you women are the messiest people I've ever seen, all right? That's the myth. Oh, women, guys don't clean and this and that. Some of the women I have dated and been with are trashed. Their whole life is trash, okay? And that's not a good way to live. I will never live like that, all right? And so a high value guy that's picking a girl that's worth a shit, I don't care how hot you look. I don't care, I don't care what else you got going for you. If you are a pile of trash everywhere you go, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? You need to get a handle on that. Especially if you're dirty on top of it. If it's dirty and cluttered, wow. Okay? So I'm speaking from someone who is as ADHD as any other person. And I know a lot of my entrepreneur friends the common theme for entrepreneurs is you're all over the place. If you're in sales, you're all over the place. I'm a real estate guy too, right? I have a real estate license. Real estate agents, all over the place, all right? So you need to 10x your productivity. You need to square away your environment, and you need to take the time to do that. And then that comes to the next thing, which is tracking, all right? You need to have a tracking system for everything you're doing that is easy to do, simple. KISS principle, okay? That's another military thing. Keep it simple, stupid, all right? Don't make some complicated bullshit thing that you're not going to do, all right? You can use your phone. If phones aren't good, you need to carry a notebook around to write things down. Do that. But you should be tracking how much money you're spending, how much money you're making. You should be tracking what's going in your mouth for food. You should be tracking what you're doing for physical activity, and you should be tracking your activity that's going to push you towards having the success you want in your goals. So if you have a fitness goal, you should be tracking those fitness things that's going to get you that goal. All right. Why? Tracking, it's not so much, some of it so you can go back and see whether you accomplished what you wanted or not and then make adjustments. But that's really only some of it. That's only part of it. The big part of it is now your activity is intentional, okay? It's a difference between being intentional in your actions and unintentional, all right? Because we are our worst bosses. We will be all over the place. And this is military. If I leave something up to not just the lowest ranking private in an infantry company, but even in an elite team, if you leave it up to, that E6 or E7 that's, on your team somewhere that's supposed to be getting stuff done with no supervision, no checks or no balances, he'll get stuff done, but he's going to get distracted. There's going to be other things that might happen. It might be a shit show when you go to check on him. So the reason why military, we check on each other constantly, all right? Even on a mission, all right? On a mission, we set up we're going to do, let's say, a raid. We set up an ORP someplace, and then you're checking to go recon and see where we're going to position people for this raid, okay? You're checking the guy's equipment before he goes out there, for example. So we're always checking each other. We always have tracking systems. On a mission, you might have phase lines where you're calling in on each phase so that somebody back in the rear is tracking where you are in the process of completing that mission. You see, this is really important, all right? Without tracking, you don't know where the fuck you're going. And so that is including any goal you set, anything you're trying to do. I'm not saying you can't achieve a goal without tracking, because some guys achieve stuff, they are tracking it. Usually it's up here, which is the most inefficient, terrible way of doing it. But they'll make a lot of mistakes when they do it that way, and they just don't get there very smooth, all right? But most of the time what happens is you won't get there at all. All right. So if you want, so that's it. And then from there, you just execute. So here's what happens. When your mindset's right, you got a plan that's decent enough. You'll improve the plan as you go along, but you're going to do that, whatever that is. And then you spend the time on getting your environment right and getting your tracking systems right. This is why this is a bigger chunk of that triangle. Your execution or your actions, all right, now is maximized. So in the beginning, maybe that first week of pursuing a goal, if we're looking at time-wise, maybe environment is a lot bigger because it takes you longer to get your shit cleaned out and to get your tracking systems in order and figure out what you're going to do, with that stuff. And to set up that foundation for success, maybe your time in the first week, very little is spent on execution that first week, maybe, So you're really just doing maintenance things, the small things you need to do to survive for execution and for actions while you get set up. But then your next weeks and months and the whole next year, whatever, should be mostly execution. This should take up very little. You're always managing these other things, but these should take up very little time, and most of your time should be spent executing. When this is together and this is in order, you can be massively productive, okay? All your high level, when you observe all of your high level entrepreneurs, that are accomplishing and achieving the things that they want and making that impact in the world. Let's look at like somebody like Richard Branson, for example. I've studied him, looked at him a little bit. His environment is completely maximized. Okay, he tracks his activity. His environment is completely maximized. He's got his mindset and his plan all set, but his environment is so maximized. There was a story of another productivity coach was telling the story, and I don't know who it was, but they were going to bring Richard Branson in and pay him millions of dollars for speaking for like a short amount of time. It was a ridiculous fee, okay? And they're going to bring him in just to show up and talk for like 20 minutes or so, and then he was going to get on him, and they were going to provide him private plane to and from. I mean, they were going to provide all that stuff. And his gatekeepers, okay, whether it's secretary, whatever you want to call it, said, I'm sorry, he is working on a project and he has these two priorities. He's not addressing any calls that don't have to do with these two priorities. Even if it was a speaking engagement that would have made him it was quite a few $1 million for 20 minutes of work, he wouldn't do it. That's a man who is so focused on his goals. But not only so focused, though, he set up the environment around him so that he could be focused. He didn't even take that call. Somebody else took the call and screened it for him so he wouldn't be distracted. And I guarantee, because I've seen it, you go into this man's environment, it's not a pile of shit and dirty laundry over here, and pile of papers as and go. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Some people do work like that, but I mean, it's just not, that is not the maximum of what you need to be productive. You know what I'm saying? You got to declutter, you got to clear that stuff out, because that is what's going to help you up here to be productive. You know what I'm saying? So now, that's the end of that video. All right, so that's, again, this is the formula right here. All right, spend about 30 minutes. So if you have a goal to achieve, man, I don't care if you make millions of dollars, all right, a year, this is going to help you. All right, I've broken down what happens in military units that I've broken it down in a little triangle here of things so that you can apply it to your life. All right, it's not a troop leading procedure or military planning process course or anything, okay? Nothing like that. But this is the basics of what will help you improve your ability to achieve your goals. So you're handicapping yourself if you're tracking in your mind and your environment isn't squared away. So that's the number one. That's the secret, if you will. That's the one where people screw up, is that environment part and that tracking part. So I'm going to go now. I took the little bit of time out, took 30 minutes of my day to talk to you. So hopefully you'll subscribe and like and share this. All right. Send questions. If you like videos like this, you want me to do more of them, I'm happy to. All right. But now I have to square away my environment. This place I just got into with the wrong paint on the walls. I got to paint it. I got to declutter some things, and I got to maximize my own productivity so I can achieve my goals, right? So I'm going to go do that right now. Thanks for your support and listening.